Hey, how's it going? It's Tim Brown, and I am with Laura Nelson of Signpost. How you doing, Laura?
Doing well. Good to see you, Tim.
We are talking about 5 ways to ensure leads aren't slipping through the cracks. So if you got leads coming out of your eyeballs right now, or if you're trying to get there, but you don't want to waste money, because there's a lot of waste in marketing, and we're going to help you not waste your money as much through this conversation. So the first thing I want, if you don't mind, can you just give me a little bit of backstory, like a 1 minute backstory of your role at Signpost and what you guys do?
Sure. I lead the marketing team at Signpost. I have been with the company for almost 3 years, and in the industry for longer than that. A lot of contractors know us as a company that helps get them great reviews on Google, Facebook, Yelp, etc. And we still do that today. But we also have a lot of other capabilities that help contractors advance their business. So you talked about waste in leads, and that's something that we really found in our discovery and talking with contractors is, they want more and more and more, but don't necessarily have the right processes and tools in place to maximize the leads that they have. So that's a lot of what our tools are built around, and of course, a lot about what we'll talk about today.
Awesome. So I see a lot of contractors on social media pushing people to their website. Every single post has a link to the website. We know the algorithm doesn't love that. Put it in your comments, people. And then also, like, they believe sometimes, or marketers believe this too, that they have to get somebody to the website to start the conversation. So should people always be pushing people to their website to get this stuff going?
Well, it depends on the type of campaign and the tracking that they have in place, right? Obviously, the website is where a contractor has most control over his or her story. But we recommend that you open other channels for communication too. For example, have you activated your Facebook Messenger? Have you activated Google messaging, right? Are you texting with your customers? Do you have a dedicated line for that? Are you checking your DMs in Instagram? The more doors that you have for prospects to walk through, the higher likelihood you will have to, optimize your leads and grow a sustainable business.
It blows my mind, because I think in websites, right? We make websites, we do marketing for websites, but it does blow my mind that I think we've had customers for Hook that have come through my personal Facebook Messenger recently and become a customer that some of them I think didn't even ever look at the website.
Yeah.
But like, just noting that, like, if you could do the sale in person, you can also do the sale over a messenger, and you don't have to get them to look at everything on your website, especially if you have a sales presentation and these other components to what you're doing. I think marketers sometimes accidentally think that it all has to be done through that way. I like that you're talking about opening these other channels of communication.
Yeah,
How
Nextdoor
quick
is
should,
another
yeah,
one.
sorry, go.
Oh yeah, I just, you made me think of one, Nextdoor. I just hired a contractor from Nextdoor posts. It was just totally organic posts, trying to find out who could take this job, and no advertising, nothing. He hit me up in the comments, and that's how we connected.
It's beautiful. And when you can cut down the steps, as much as you can cut down the steps to being able to like transact, that's a beautiful thing. So if you have to send them to the website, and the website has to send them to the, a scheduler, and the scheduler, whatever, basically, if you can cut that down, send them to the scheduler. Like, I put Calendly in my messenger a lot, like there's, or, I don't know if you guys have a tool like that. So excuse me if that's a competitor, I don't know. But how quick should we be responding, like, to these inquiries?
Oh, I'll hit on Calendly. We actually work with a lot of contractors who use Calendly, and they link it to our chat tool. So
Nice.
that's a great free tool to take advantage of, and make it easy for people to cut down on the conversations. But you asked about timing. This is everything, right? That homeowners are often going to buy from the person who responds first. If they want to move on with their days, they want to move on to the next task. They don't want to spend hours, vetting and talking to contractors. So Timing is everything. And, the faster that you can respond, the better off you are, and the more likely you are to close that job. One of the tools we have at Signpost is that we can actually automate responses to, say, home advisor leads that come in, to conversations that come into Facebook, Google Messenger, etc., from one platform.
What if somebody doesn't respond? Let's say, let's talk about the stakes here. What does failure look like?
Failure looks like no response, no acknowledgement whatsoever, to an incoming call, chat, text, to a form fill on the website. You know what happens next? Homeowner moves on to the next guy or gal on the list, right? You lose the job. That's what failure looks like. And that's really costly when you're investing in any kind of marketing, whether it's organic to your website or whether it's with programs like yours through the agency, PPC, Google Local Services, etc. Like, you're watching money go down the drain.
Exactly. So how can somebody make sure that they're working the lead properly?
Well, I think the answer is in the question too. They have to work the lead, right? It's not enough to reach out once and, if you don't get an answer, just give up on it. Here at Signpost, and I'm sure you coach your clients on this as well, you have to, as a company, set a minimum number of contacts to reach out to that prospect through multiple ways. Are they answering the phone? No. Are you trying them via text? Do you have their email? Right? Reach them through multiple channels, through all the information you have to make sure that you are, exhausting your possibilities with this lead. So once or twice is not enough, right? You've got to contact them 7, 8, 9, 10 times before you get a no.
Are you sick of what passes for leads these days? What's wrong with share leads? Or Facebook ad leads? Yeah! Not much, unless you want to be the lowest bidder on every job. I wear a lot of hats, but search engine marketing and website, I've passed off to a Google specialized team.
I like that. I like that a lot because we do work our butts off to get more leads for people. So if there is a set minimum number of contacts, I feel like people would get more out of the work that they're doing through us already. So I love that. Is there anything that you can do to automate some of this with tools?
Yeah, this is a combination of people and process and tools and technology, right? You've got to let the technology work for you in this scenario as well. I mentioned a minute ago the incident responders that Signpost has. There are other automation capabilities too that can, keep those touch points going, such as drip campaigns, right? Get that prospect into a cadence and, make sure that you stay top of mind.
For people aren't in marketing all the time here, what is a drip campaign?
A drip campaign is a simple automation, we'll say email, right? Where you send them a series of messages over a set period of time just to get your information out there. They can be educational, they can be promotional, they can be a combination of things. Whatever you decide is right for your business and to get your brand out there, that will ensure that you are creating enough touch points and you are giving that prospect an opportunity to evaluate you and to say yes or no to the job.
Awesome. Let's say we want to have somebody there all the time. Is it worth it to have somebody there on the weekend? We have times where we have to like pause ads in different parts of the day, but there are people searching and making purchase decisions in the evening. I don't do home service stuff. To be honest, I don't do it much at all. My wife does it, but she's often doing it in the evening or the weekend, not the business day all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like homeowners are, they're at work all day, right? They're they're with their families or taking kids to school or after school activities. So they don't have a ton of time during the day to, look up and contact 5 roofers, but, they are mindful that you might not be on call at 8:30 p.m. or later or on the weekend when you're out doing your thing. So this is where I would encourage you to let technology do the work for you. And also, consider a backstop, for the phone calls, especially. We have a live receptionist service. It's only a couple $100 a month that, enables you to just forward calls when you're busy, evening, weekends, we'll toggle from the app, which is awesome because, when someone's calling in, they can reach a human. And then you get a text message with, what came in and what you should do. A lot of contractors like this too, because we help to filter out, some of the spam calls that you may be getting and some that might not be worth your time during those hours. But all of that to say, don't let anyone go to voicemail. We believe voicemail is dead. Instead, let technology, let that human backstop do the work for you, because chances are it's really hard to hire someone, in your market, part-time, answer phones. You may not have the, be able to afford someone to do that, or you might not get the hours that you want. So that's where a service like this one can be really helpful.
Absolutely. And I just want to hammer this point because I listen to a lot of calls, and we actually listen to all of our calls. We're getting a name for it now, which I think we're going to call it the real lead finder, because there's non-real leads and, people just calling for service requests and stuff like that. So we're getting it down so that we sort leads both through the emails and through the phone call listening. So we're doing that. And there's just a lot of waste. There's a lot of waste. So ensuring that leads aren't slipping through the cracks is way more important than I realized maybe even 6 months ago after listening to so many calls. We listened to 100 in one day. Or maybe it's over 2 days, but we listened to 100. What's that?
What surprised you the most, Tim, when you listened to these calls and, heard the themes?
What surprises me is that larger companies are not immune to giant call problems, including longer messages and stuff like that. It's disconcerting to me because I think because they have a reputation, this is what surprises me. It surprises me when companies do certain things very, very well, sometimes it blinds them to the things that they're not doing well. You know what I mean? These companies are awesome, powerful companies known for their great reviews, known for their reputations. But then over here is this giant opportunity. And I think that it's hard to listen to smart people like yourself, Laura, and like me, because they know that they're doing certain things really, really well. But just because you're doing certain things really, really well does not mean there might not be a giant, big, glaring opportunity in the form of your calls, your call etiquette, your call response time and stuff like that. It shouldn't take a minute to get to a live person, and it shouldn't take multiple touches. People shouldn't have to call you back later if you didn't call. That is an interesting one. I've after doing that, we get so I'm calling again. And I did get I talked to somebody last time, but I haven't gotten anything back, people don't know that you're going to get back to them. So I think that those are the things that probably surprised me the most.
And those are the patient people, most people would just move down the list and
exactly.
That would be it.
Those are probably referrals, because Google leads will not call you again later, hoping to work with your company. This is, you get one shot,
Yep.
Okay, so how can people check out Signpost? What would be the next step if they wanted to check it out and maybe work with you guys?
Yeah, if you want some tips on what we talked about and you want to just see one flavor of how we help facilitate, ensuring that your leads don't fall through the cracks, check out signpost.com.
Awesome. And yeah, we love having you on the podcast. We'd love to have you again sometime. Thank you so much for being here. And the podcast is put on by hookagency.com and Hook Agency all over social. So thank you guys for watching and listening.